Jack, congratulations on winning Best Writer at this year's BPG Awards. How does it feel?
It feels really, really nice, and I like that the BPG Awards award you for all you've done in the year. So that feels quite a generous thing, and it sort of makes you feel like you've done stuff, not just the one show. So it's very lovely.
So you like the fact it reflects and honours your work rate?
or my greediness. No, I like the fact that that they recognise a writer is not just one thing necessarily, and that if you've done other things, then that also becomes part of the reckoning. And if they hadn't liked the other shows, then maybe that would have discounted me from this show. And I like all that. I like the fact that we're a weird mix as a breed. And the last time I was nominated for This Is England 90 and His Dark Materials, two shows that really don't belong together, but I really like the fact they did that.
If that was a double bill at children's cinema, there would be complaints.
There would be complaints, and there would be tears, and there might be some nightmares afterwards. Yeah.
You mentioned, recognising the output. So Toxic Town, Adolescence, The Hack, and then at the same time you're working on Adolescence, you're also working on Lord of the Flies. Yeah. Can I ask, did you at any point as you were working on these shows, or you were writing them, did you think, I would just like to write a farce? I would just like to write a silly farce.
Well, this is what Tarantino's done, right? This is yeah. It's a proper farce, and isn't that fascinating? No, I have written a romance, which is an unusual thing, and that's the next thing I've got coming up, and then I'm done for a bit. You won't see me for hide nor hair. So you won't. I recognise I've been around way too much, and so yeah, you won't see more of me for a bit.
So a romantic drama, The Beatles.
Oh yeah, well that's not in telly, but yes, I am still working on The Beatles.
And then The Beatles, and then also Sounds on a Wet Afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but after that.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, you make a fair point. Yeah.
I just wondered with Adolescence in particular. I mean, Toxic Town addressed a real issue that affected people, real life. Adolescence has connected with people globally in terms of what it's looking at. Were you amazed by the reaction to the show? I mean, I don't mean to sound so prosaic, but you know what I mean? Have you been amazed by the response and how it's really connected with people globally?
I think so. I think that it was never really, you talk about like issues and you talk about the conversations it started, and when we talked about it, it was never about trying to raise the issue. It was always about that emotional connection into the family. And I think that if that hadn't have been there, maybe the conversations wouldn't have followed. But the brilliantness of Jack and Stephen writing this show was always about that connection at the very, very start, and I think that that's probably why it brought the audience that it ended up bringing.
I mean, Jack, the success of the series is I mean, it's a phenomenon.
Oh, it was nuts, and we're still all slightly reeling from it, and trying to work out how on earth you follow it, or how on earth you do anything.
You don't set about trying to get that level of reaction.
You don't. And it was really interesting. Steve and I had a conversation before the first awards we went to, which were the Gotham Awards, where we said, we'll never have this again. We'll never have this again, and that's okay. And we'll do a show for Channel 4 that means something, and that will, get a good audience, we hope, for Channel 4, but we're never going to try and do this, because that way lies insanity.
I mean, has it changed all of you as a group in terms of its success, in terms of like how it's sort of entered people's lives and the public consciousness?
I think it would be naive to say it hasn't changed us, but I genuinely think it's for the better. I think it's made us quite a strong unit, hoping to work again. We've got a couple of things talking about, but I think it absolutely has created understanding and a moment that is hard to sort of talk to for other people maybe to have experienced. It's a mad time.
At the Globes, I won't help you for saying this. He's wandering around in his designer gear, looking as flash as anything, talking to all these celebrities, being the king of the thing. And he turned to his mum and he went, "Someone's taking my Skittles." I just thought, that's perfect. You're still there. You're still there. The boy is still there underneath it all. Do you know what I mean? Someone's taking my Skittles.
And I'd like to know which Hollywood A-lister it was. That's what I'd like to know.
Who stole Owen Cooper's Skittles? Yeah.
And just finally, I wondered when you were writing Adolescence with Stephen, did you ever write a scene where you thought, let's see how good Barantini and Lewis are, let's see how good the director and the DOP are in trying to...
The hardest scene was their idea. The hardest scene was their idea, which is the camera flying. Yeah. And I'd written this scene that was about the camera weaving through the streets, and they hated it. And I kept on writing it and trying different ways of making the same thing happen. And they kept on hating it. And then Matt and Phil came up with this idea of the camera flying. A ridiculous idea, so stupid, and it almost killed us all. But they pulled it off because they're remarkable.
Thank you both for your time
Thank
this
you.
evening. Really nice to see you, Jack.